Hi, I'm Ned Smith. I'm a drum teacher, and I am going to teach you how the brain and muscle memory are a lot like a roll of toilet paper. This is a neuron, and the neuron wants to get a nerve impulse through it as fast as possible. And these myelin nodes along here are insulators that allow electricity to pass through faster and faster the thicker they get. And what makes them get thicker? Perfect repetition. So that's how this relates to being a drummer. Now let's talk about how it is like toilet paper here. So let's pretend like the axon is going through this toilet paper roll. Okay? And the roll is only this thick at this time. Imagine this isn't here, this part. Okay? And it's just very, very thin. Just like typical myelin sheaths before we train them. Okay? So let me get this roll started here. Yes. Okay. So this is how, when we do our repetitions, and we are so careful and so slow with how we do it, that we don't make any mistakes. And what I mean by that is like, okay, check it out. Let's see. Got my keyboard here. I've got my roll. Okay. So if you're playing a beat like this, really slowly, and then your mind goes blank, and that happens a lot when you're learning a new beat. Instead of going back to the beginning and repeating the beginning, which starts to form muscle memory by thickening the myelin sheath, because it builds out like this. It builds out in layers like this. So now I'm putting more and more sheathing on that myelin insulator node, right? So if I keep going back partway through the beat I'm trying to learn, then that's what I learn instead, including the space where I stop to go, oh, I got to do it again, you know. You have to just go through no matter what happens. So let's say you get this far, and then your mind goes blank. You just look at the notation that you're learning from, and you review in your head, okay, I hit 2 times, boom, boom, so I must be on that one right there, count 2. And then if your mind goes blank again, you figure out where you're at, and you go to the next one. If you only get through the beat 2 times in 1 minute, you've done way more than if you were just, you know, charging at it like you're charging at a wall and trying to break through. So every time you do a correct repetition, you put on just a little more sheathing on those nodes. And the more that gets on there, the more insulator that develops on there. And the thicker it gets, the faster the nerves can conduct that information, and your, you know, conscious thinking doesn't have to work its head off to try and to get that through there. And so it just keeps getting thicker and thicker, but in, you know, thinly, like a roll of toilet paper. It takes forever. It's not going to just, you know, every time you get a repetition of a drum beat correct, it doesn't just make one layer around. It's going to take a long time to get one thin layer around here. This stuff is called white matter in your brain. All right, be really careful when you make a mistake. Don't say anything that could cut into you subconsciously or consciously when you make a mistake. That could, hurt you somehow, because that causes emotions. You become less rational, and you need to just be bored and super careful, not caring, like if you're wrong or right, in, as a judgment, making sure you're always right as an activity. And as you do this, your brain will be like, oh, we got a repetition here. I have an opportunity to make myelin sheathing. Okay? I think you got it.